Hi, Annie here, and today this is going to be my movie musicals collection video. I don't know if it'll be in one part or two, but it is all the movies on my shelf that I would consider musicals. At least all the ones that I saw when I was looking through my shelves. Occasionally I do these and then I'm like, oh, I forgot that one sitting on that shelf over there, that one that was waiting to be filed. But I think I've got everything. So, but I do kind of feel like I'm missing something, but I can't figure out what. But anyway, I'm just going to get on with it. And like I said, I'll say at the end if this is a two-parter or a one-part, you'll see. Anyway, let's get on with it. So I think I'll start with this. This is a Frankie and Annette beach party movie set. And so these are really cute movies from the 60s. If you haven't seen them, they were filmed, the history of actually how they were filmed is just as interesting as the movies themselves. They were made by American International in a very short space of time, like over a couple of weeks usually, and they had some awesome guest stars like Buster Keaton and Maury Amsterdam, and I'm trying to think, they had a lot of really great kind of guests that popped up. And then Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello were the stars of most of them together. Occasionally it was just one or the other. So the original Beach Party and then Bikini Beach, and we also have How to Stuff a Wild Bikini and Beach Blanket Bingo. I love the song Beach Blanket Bingo. Oh, Don Rickles is one of the people that's in a couple of these, and he's quite funny in them as well. We have Ski Party, which is one of the ones that Frankie Avalon did on his own without Annette and with Dwayne Hickman, although Annette does make a little cameo. And then Muscle Beach Party. And on this one we have two racing movies, Fireball 500 and Thunder Alley. And those are Frankie and Annette, and then Thunder Alley is Annette and Fabian. And Fabian is another teen idol from that era. But if you haven't seen these, they're quite cute. Definitely family friendly, but they do have some racier, more innuendo-y type things snuck in there. But I watched these as a little kid, didn't realize that was there. The music's quite good in them. Anyway, I'll just start pulling up here. They're not in no particular order. Here I have The Sound of Music. This was one of the editions that came out a few years ago, and it folds out like so. It's quite a nice set. It's 2 discs. It comes with a little brochure of some history about from play to screen and the filming, and that it also has the scenes and the song selection there so that it makes it easy to go through and find a specific scene on the discs. But yeah, it's a nice set. I'm sure everybody's seen The Sound of Music, but it used to air here at Christmas time, so it still does actually on Christmas Eve. I do find every so often I pull it out, although it used to terrify me as a child. I loved the songs, hated the Nazis, which maybe that's just good life advice. Hate the Nazis. Here we have Singing in the Rain. This also came in a case like this. I'm just getting ahead of myself taking it out. And this was the 50th anniversary 2-disc edition. This came out, 10 years ago now maybe? Because the 60th one I think is out as well in a box set. And this starred Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, and Donald O'Connor. It has some of the most Donald O'Connor is an amazing dancer. Gene Kelly I really like. This movie is quite fun and light and is set in when the talkies started coming out in Hollywood. And it is done, just a second here, it is was written by the same people who wrote Bells Are Ringing. This was Betty Comden and Adolph Green and starred Judy Holliday, Dean Martin, and it is another Arthur Freed musical. And if you haven't seen this, this is quite, like, for me, this is one of my favorite musicals from the era of, you know, kind of all these big musicals that came out at certain point. Dean Martin is just delightful in it. Judy Holliday is somebody that I didn't really grow up watching her movies. I think I'd seen Born Yesterday, but other than that, she's somebody I kind of discovered probably around 2004, 2005. And I really like her movies can be a bit hard to get a hold of, but I really do like this. And it is much more like strays into the surreal at times. You know, it's like a classic musical. The numbers are integrated, but in sometimes a bit more of a abstract way, if that makes sense. But it is quite enjoyable, and if you haven't seen that, I really do recommend it. Here I've got Easter Parade. Sorry, these are so random, but because I'm just picking them up, it got kind of dumped. But Judy Garland, Fred Astaire. I've actually got a whole separate review on this movie. I think it was the third movie or the fourth, not movie, the third or fourth video I put up on my channel. So I'll link that below. It might be interesting to see, you know, what I was doing when I first started, and also if you want to know more about the movie. I love the singing and dancing. I love Judy Garland and Fred Astaire paired together. I think that was a really great pairing. The next thing I have here is Mary Poppins. This is Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, and some really great character actors that you saw in a lot of Disney stuff. This movie is fun. I'm sure it's another one most people grew up watching or watched as an adult, so I won't say too much, but I really like it. This is one of the older DVD editions, although it's a movie that I am always tempted to get the more recent updates for, which, you know, it's not like it's a different movie, so I don't. And here I have The Wizard of Oz. This is another Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, Jack Haley, Frank Morgan, and Burt Lauer. And it's another classic that I used to watch every year growing up, and I think that that's not really uncommon. A lot of people, I think, grew up watching The Wizard of Oz every year. So here we have Disney's Enchanted. This is Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey. It's more of like a cartoon, but done in with real actors. And there are some really great songs in this. I don't know how far it strays into the musical territory, but for me it seems like it's very much done because it's like, you know, like The Little Mermaid, the way they integrate songs, it's very similar. Saying that, here is The Little Mermaid. Disney 1990, I believe. I think it came out on like VHS tape around that that Christmas time, and that was, I remember when it came out. It was very much the movie of the time, and this is the Blu-ray edition. And so it comes with a, Blu-ray and a DVD and the digital copy. Won't go on too much about that because, again, I think it's another one that everybody kind of knows more about. Let's see. Oh, here we have Bride and Prejudice. This was Corinda Chadha, directed and starred Aishwarya Rai and Martin Henderson, who I don't know if he's, I haven't seen him in other stuff, but it was kind of like it's a remake of Pride and Prejudice set in India in modern times. I really love this myself. Like, I got really obsessed with this one when it came out. I did love Bend It Like Beckham, so it was kind of an easy jump for me. But this one, I would say musical because it has those very surreal type Bollywood numbers in them. Really fun. If you haven't seen it and you love a big musical, it's a really, really great choice. So let's see. Here we go. I'll do this one and get it out of the way. This is the Classic Features 50 Musicals Movies collection. It's one of these big sets. It has lots of different movies in it. Now, I will say not all of them are musicals. It's not uncommon in a lot of these sets to find that the family movies have, like, murder movies, or the, or the funny collections maybe have one that's a bit kind of a very heavy drama. So this is that one. There are some great ones on here. There's some of the Road to movies. There's some really great rock and roll movies made, like Rock and Roll Review with Duke Ellington. Second Chorus is on here with Fred Astaire. And, like, there's some good stuff. It's just that I'll say that not everyone is a musical, and also that, the quality of the copies isn't great on some of them. But it is one that sometimes the movies aren't otherwise available, or you can see if you like it and then go out and purchase the better copy of those movies when if you find a little hidden gem in those. So here we go. The next one I have here is Yours, Mine, and Ours. Again, this is like, it's a comedy, but I would say it definitely has a lot of music kind of running through it. Very much a musical kind of family comedy. This was written by the same person that ended up going on to develop the Brady Bunch, and has very much that same feel where two families, this time I think with one has 4 and one has 8 children, or 6 and 6. There's a lot of kids anyway, and it is yours, mine, and then they go on to have one of ours. And so one has 8 kids and one has 10, so there's 18 children, so it's a lot. Both of them are widowed, I believe, and so anyway, that's one to watch. It's an interesting to see that kind of the precursor to the Brady Bunch in that way, see how it was refined as it went into the TV show. Here we have another kind of quite an old one, and this is Too Many Girls, starring Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. This was done before the TV show and was based on the play that they did together, which I believe was the play they met in. She plays an heiress, he plays a football player. Funny in places, it's really interesting. It is dated in many ways, but it's quite interesting to see them playing something before Lucy, and also slightly different characters than what they went on to become so known for. Anyway, that's a favorite of mine, kind of on a, I don't know, not a slow day, but just on a day you want, I don't know, something a bit different. So here we go. I think I'll get these out of the way because they feel like they're slightly haunting me. They're a little bit of my secret shame on my shelf, but at the same time, I'm not really ashamed of them. It just, you know, to bring them up here seems maybe a bit off, and that is High School Musical and High School Musical 2. I think it was when I was babysitting more, when these came out, that I started watching them, and they're fun. Again, they're very much like the classic musicals. You know, for this one has an Esther Williams inspired number in it in the pool. Like just really fun. Kenny Ortega directs these, and he was the choreographer for Dirty Dancing, and so you know it's got some good moves and fun stuff. But again, I don't think I would have ever watched these if I hadn't have had a child introduce them to me. But if you are looking for stuff to watch with a young person, a young child, then these are fun, and you might, you know, not hate it completely. So that's always a good thing. And let's see, here we'll just go with Blue Hawaii. This is Elvis, and who was in this? Angela Lansbury is in this one as well. I'm not sure who the woman is off the top of my head, but this was done in the early 60s, and it was actually filmed in Hawaii. And this backdrop, of course, is just beautiful. It's so interesting to see. It was when Hawaii was just really booming because of the airline industry starting to really take off. No pun intended. But the music is amazing. I'd say this is my favorite Elvis movie. I think it was the best done. I think it had the most substance both in the story and the music to it. So if you're looking for an Elvis movie, or you've tried some of the other ones and not liked them, give this one a go and let me know if you do and what you think of it, because I feel like Elvis is somebody that some of his movies kind of get unfairly shafted, but some of them were pretty awful, and it can be hard if you got introduced to him through one of the awful movies. I know there's ones that I just don't like watching, but that was my first Elvis movie, I believe, that I watched, and you know, I don't actually own any other ones. That's my go-to Elvis movie. I don't even know. I'm getting slap happy here, people. So here we have Down with Love, and this was Renee Zellweger, Ewan McGregor, David Hyde Pierce, and oh, there's a bunch of other people that Sarah Paulson is in this. Tony Randall makes an appearance. It's very much a reboot of the Pillow Talk, Send Me No Flowers, those Rock Hudson, Doris Day era sex comedies. Tony Randall was in many of them, and he does make an appearance here. The music is really quite amazing. There was as much of the old stuff that they integrated in. They also had a couple new songs that had that feel to them. I believe it was around 2002 maybe that this one came out. And yeah, so again, if you love the old sex comedies, this is a great one. You know, it is more modern in some ways, but it also is quite a bit of fun. So anyway, I think I'll leave it there for today. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. I am going to be posting part 2 very soon. And yeah, just watch for that, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.